Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're visiting my friend Qua's shop. It's a very unique shop in Winnipeg. It's called Tintastic. Right here, unit 25. I can't think of the address offhand, but I will put it below. But for now, got my car here, got Qua's car here. But let's head inside and check this really cool place out. So, this is Tintastic. This is owned by my friend Qua. I've known him for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now, I guess. Really good guy. He's like a brother to me. As you can see, Tintastic. He's got this beautiful Fox Body Mustang in here that they are going to be retinting. But they do so much more than that. They do all kinds of amazing detailing. They just picked up a plotter, so there's going to be PPF and vinyl, and they're using it for tint. It's a very exciting time for this shop. I'm really happy for them. And let's get to talking to Qua and see what this is all about. To me, dude, I'm very happy for you opening this new shop. It's amazing, it's exciting. You decided to start a new shop?
Well, I actually rented this space as like a hobby space. So I was just like storing my own cars. I was thinking, okay, let's just like have a place for me to store my own cars and maybe work on them a little bit. But then I was just like thinking like how the shop is so cheap. Like my rent here is only $1,500. Wow. And I was standing in this exact spot. Like this bare space of this like dirty mechanical shop that I moved into, and I had like this vision of opening another tint shop. I was like, wow. I already know like the template of it. I already know how to build a tint shop, what can go wrong, what can go wrong, how to build something, how to build it for efficiency. So it was kind of like not even like building a business to make profit. It was almost like a hobby build.
Okay.
So it was like if I were to do it all over again, how would I do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So tinting for you is more like a passion than an actual source of income?
Well, sometimes you get cars like this and there's like tint on it, there's film on it, there's like 3 hours of removal, it's an old car, so the job itself is a little tedious, but it is definitely like rewarding after the job's done.
Cool.
So there are times where it's like a passionate thing for me, and there's times where it's like, oh, it's work.
So would you consider yourself an artist? Because based on what you just said, that to me sounds like an artist. Just saying.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it's art, but a lot of times people can't do these cars. So I just did a C4 Corvette, a C5, and a C7 within like the last, I would say, 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
So a lot of times people bring me like their hard cars. So cars that other people can't tint, or like these old cars where everything's hand cut, everything's like dusty and all this stuff.
Okay.
Lots of contamination can happen. So, and I have a lot of experience with it. So a lot of times if a window tinter can't tint their car, they have to call me to tint their car.
Oh really? Yeah. So how long have you been in the business? I've been not just Tintastic, but overall.
I've been a window tinter for I think it's 5 years now. Okay. Yeah, 5 years, and then I did Modify Me for about two or 3 years. Yeah. Something like that, and then I actually took time off. Took time off for about a year, maybe a year and a half, just retired, and then that's when I moved into here, and then it was just like a why not kind of thing.
Okay, that's awesome. So you've got some cool gear in this shop. Why don't you tell us about some of it? Yeah,
so like I've always been like a believer in hand cutting your cars, and everything should be done by hand and all this, but to keep up with like the modern day technology and how to run your tint shop more efficiently, I had to look into plotting. Okay. So now I'm only starting to tint, I would say like a couple cars where it's getting plotted, so I'm getting used to the process of plotting itself. So as you can see, this back window from the Audi that we have outside is already plotted. So I already shrunk the back window, and then I weed it out, and then I install it afterwards. Okay. So I'm looking, how this shop is set up is 2 cars, 1 car over there, one car over here. This car is nose in. This car is back in.
Okay.
And then the doors open opposite ways. Right? So then I would have my fuel board. One car there, maybe 2 window tinters, and then 1 window tinter will be working over here, and the other one will be working over there. This car is a little closer to the middle right now, so that's kind of like the concept I built in my head.
Okay.
And with the plotting, I was hoping to get my installs down to an hour or under.
Really?
Yeah, I plan to do like a half-hour tint, because I need to compete with a lot of these. I don't want to say like scammers, but they're like cheaper window tinters, right? It's just starting. They're saying their tints are like 180 to 150. If I just get it at the mark where it's maybe around the 250 range, and I could keep my efficiency at around half an hour to 45-minute install, then it's possible.
Okay.
Because anything cheaper, then it just wouldn't be feasible to run an operation and compete with the guys that are doing it out of the garage kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So they give you the price every time.
Sure. So the space itself, I'm guessing it didn't come black? And
no.
It didn't come with the Swiss tracks?
No. We'll edit in the video. I'm sure you can edit in the video where I'll show you a picture of what it used to look like. And like I was saying, I was standing in that exact spot looking at this vision, and then I was in my mind, I had this in mind.
Okay.
And then I was like, you know what, this is my budget. I'm gonna budget for this amount. Ended up tripling my budget. I'm not gonna say the numbers, but
I'm not gonna ask.
It was not cheap. Swiss Tracks isn't cheap. The painting wasn't cheap. All this is new electrical.
Oh, really?
So everything is set up by professional electrical companies with the red genies, and the lighting. I actually installed the lights myself.
Oh wow. Okay.
Our sign printed at my old shop, Modify Me. Thank you, Modify Me.
It's a small community in a small town like Winnipeg, so you're always going to have some people who don't like you, but if you can have
the more friends, the better.
Right. Exactly.
And also it's new plumbing. Everything is plumbed properly, even for a detailing side. We have this is a water softener. So we run a water softener. It's commercial. Water gets plumbed into the softener, and then it goes into the pressure washer. So all your cars are spotless.
Okay.
There's no like iron deposits.
Nice.
Onto your vehicles.
Nice.
Yeah. So I can wash a car, detail it, bring it outside, and then it'll just dry
properly with water
dry.
spots.
And then it also gets plumbed back into the wall, goes into here, and then this is just our drinking water.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the reverse osmosis for drinking.
Cool.
So there's 2 stages of filtration.
Nice. And this obviously is the new plotter?
Yeah, it's the plotter. So it just basically cuts out the film for your tint. Like I said, I was always an old school guy. I'm like, I feel like my hand cutting is always going to be more accurate than the plotter, and I always thought that I can cut faster than a plotter, which is true in some sense. But if I have a car lined up, say like 6 cars that's ready to be tinted, 2 cars come in, 2 cars come out, it could be plotted ahead of time, and then I would have all my patterns just already cut for me. Car comes in, I just shrink all the windows and then install it instead of having to hand cut
Okay.
all over again.
And I mean, I can definitely speak to the quality of your tints. You've done a couple of my cars, including the 911, and the way you do it by hand, it looks factory. It goes back to that thing about me considering you to be an artist, because you take such pride in your work. You want it to be the best it can. You want it to be beautiful, and that's what you pull off. So yeah. I'm really, for lack of a better way to put it, I'm proud of you for being so damn good.
Yeah, it's come a long way. I remember used to tinting out in like Birds Hill. It was like a mechanical shop.
Okay.
And then I kind of found tinting. I remember going to my first tint job. It was like out of some Bangladesh guy's garage. He found me on Facebook.
Oh wow.
And I had my phone with me, I placed it on my dash, like where my odometer is.
Yeah.
And I was watching a how to tint video on YouTube on the way to my very first tint.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And apparently it worked. 'Cause
Yeah, it worked.
Here we are
It's been
today.
a long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plotter is not really meant for upping the quality level. It's just for efficiency level.
Okay.
And for some things, like I guess we'll go back to the Mustang. There's a little trick with the Mustang like this, because the mirror is in the way of where your pattern should be cut. So if I were to hand cut it, I would have to marker this, estimate how far the window goes into the mirror, then make my cut for the install, because the inside is a lot different than the outside.
Okay, yeah. I get you.
So it's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see it compensated for the space that's behind the mirror there. So in a lot of ways it does make things easier.
Yeah, well, like you said, efficiency. Because if you can keep up your quality with, I mean, in Winnipeg for sure, I know there's nobody better.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can up your efficiency and, you know, have customers come in and actually just get their car tinted while they wait.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. That's virtually unheard of.
Yeah, if their car's down for only 45 minutes, then it's not as big of a deal as like having your car gone for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Exactly. Like I remember I was looking at getting one of my older cars tinted back in like 2010, and they wanted the car overnight. So to have it down to under an hour is like that, dude.
Yeah, I don't pride myself in like being the best tinter or you know, being the best in the city or anything like that. It's just I would like to train other window tinters to be like even better than me. I want to have guys working for me who can tint better than me. I trained my younger brother how to tint, and I've trained Josh and Modify me how to tint as well, along with the other a couple other guys. But I find a little bit more pride in teaching others how to do it, because it creates like a full career for them. It helps
absolutely.
them. Like, you know, I like people helping people pay their bills.
Gotcha.
With something that they can do with their hands.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, this may be a stupid question, but and I'm pretty sure I already know the answer, but when it comes to the tint film itself, is there various qualities, or are they all the same?
So we only install ceramic film right now. I don't believe in like installing film just for the aesthetic of your vehicle. It's more the performance.
Okay.
And,
so what does the ceramic film do that the regular film doesn't?
It's basically a layer of ceramic within the film itself, carbon nano ceramic that absorbs the heat before it enters the cabin of your car. Okay,
so it keeps the interior cool.
Yeah, it has a performance aspect.
Okay, that is cool. I don't know how many people know that. So what do you see as the future for Tintastic?
Future, I gotta get off the ground. So we've been in business for maybe a month. Mm-hmm. No, that's like we're finished flooring and all this, and I was pushing in jobs where I had like a stack of 2x4s. I was standing on tinting a car just to get jobs out, get our name out, kind of thing. So I want to build a customer. I want to train at least 2 more tinters, and then I want to see a lineup outside and cars is coming in and out. I want to run it like a drive-through.
Nice.
Almost with my system here. I kind of built it for maximum efficiency.
Right.
Right now it's just we gotta know where we place our tools. I'm missing like a couple other key tools, and then after that I should be able to.
Everything in time. I mean, this problem, as you said, you tripled your budget building it as it is.
Yeah.
And that new plotter, I'm sure, was not part of that initial budget.
No.
So, getting back to the wanting to train people, Are you looking for people that already have experience, or are you looking for people who are looking to get in on the ground floor, or?
So I kind of build a system of how I train window tinters.
Okay.
I would kind of have to, there's a couple key things I look for, and within the first, I would say, week or so, I would know if they have it or not.
Okay.
So sometimes it's not I just tell them it's not a good path for you to learn how to do this. I can't say what these things I'm looking for, but basically for the first week they would just follow me along, just do the prep work, so the non-detail work, to see me do the detail work.
Right.
And then after that, maybe I'll get them to pick up a blade, or like train them how to do an install.
Okay.
And if they have their own vehicle, I just
get
them to learn on their own vehicle.
Like how Joseph started at Modify Me.
Yeah, and how I started too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I started with just doing my own vehicles over and over again.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, if you are thinking about getting into the tinting industry, which is definitely a growing industry, there's so much opportunity. The number of cars being sold today is through the roof. I'm going to have Quad's contact information below. If it's something you're interested in, by all means, reach out, talk to him, see what he says. If he thinks you're going to be great, you'll be great. If he says you're probably not going to be, then maybe it's time to look for something else. But like you said, he wants to teach people, which I think is fantastic. So many people just want to keep their knowledge to themselves and not share and not teach the next generation or the next employee or the next shop owner. So that you're doing that, man, I think is fantastic. I mean, I already knew you were a fantastic human being, but now they know it too. So the Tintastic logo. I want to see where's that for Halloween.
I don't know if I'll pierce my ears. No, a lot of people ask me if that was supposed to be me, and I was like, his forehead's not big enough.
Cool. So, obviously, if you're wanting tint, this is the place to come. I'll have all the contact info below, including the address. He can get you in it. Right now, how fast can you get a tint done on, say, a four-door sedan?
Four-door sedan, probably an hour and a half. To keep it safe, let's say for an hour and a half. I'm still learning how to use the plotter.
Okay.
The plotting is still like new to me.
Yep. That's fair. That's fair.
I definitely see the use in it. Obviously, with that.
Yeah, it seemed to work on the Mustang, which is awesome. Thanks for the demonstration on that, by the way, because I've seen plotters in use before, but never on tint.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Well, tinting's come a long way. Like, you can see, this car was probably tinted in the 90s or early 2000s, and film didn't shrink like how it used to be. You can see there's lines here and a line here, so this back window was actually done in 3 pieces.
Oh, really?
And it has nothing to do with how good the window tinter was. It's just how they had to do the tint at the time.
Really?
So this is like purpling already, so I'm assuming it's been on here for over a decade.
So tint can get old too, then?
Now tint technology has gotten a lot better, so with this, it probably didn't shrink. So film didn't shrink back in the day. And the adhesive failed on it, so you can see all the glue is left over on the window, so that's going to be a couple hours of removal.
Wow,
and
that sucks.
My employee was just saying how it came off in a bunch of small pieces.
Oy.
That's the worst, especially for this, and you're gonna crawl in the hot back seat and remove this film. I don't think he's gonna have fun moving that.
Yeah, probably not. Now, look, since we're at the back window here, quite often you'll see, and I kind of see it here, where the defroster is. You get lines. Is that normal, or is that?
Depends how thick the defrost is. This one's fairly thick, so you would have to scrub it down with steel wool. Okay. There's no scraping with razors, obviously, because it will affect the integrity of your defrost lines.
Come right off.
But, yeah, there's definitely tricks.
Okay.
Older cars.
And quite often, I'm sure you've seen it 1,000 times where the film starts bubbling, especially on the back window. What's that about?
This is adhesive failure.
Okay, so is that a result of poor installation or poor material?
Poor material, I would say, or just old material. Sometimes the adhesive basically just separates and oxidizes from the heat of the sun, and then the film kind of separates from the glass.
Okay.
And forms these little pockets.
So the ceramic tint that you install, because of the ceramic absorbing the heat, it wouldn't do that?
Yeah, the ceramic one, and there's most film companies have something called color stable.
Okay.
Even their dyed film is color stable, so it won't go purple.
Okay.
This window, and
Cool.
it shouldn't do that.
Very cool, man. Well, thanks for all your time, man. I know you're a busy guy. He just came back from a workout, so we could shoot this. They cleaned the floors while I was here. So I know.
Another thing about the floors is I always say these floors are magical because everything's just graded to the drain.
Yep.
So there's a drain in the middle of the shop, and when I install the sink, this goes through the soft water. So I'm filling up my bottles with soft water for all my tint installations, and then I didn't even have to plumb the drain at the bottom because it kind of just goes through. The sink goes into the flooring, and then it just eventually makes its way to the grate. And also, I installed an AC with a ductless split upstairs, and
yeah, I imagine it's
super efficient. So we just ran a water line going from the AC down here, and it just
into the Swiss tracks.
Goes into the Swiss tracks. And shout out to Swiss tracks.
Yeah, for sure. Too bad they don't sponsor you, but we can work on that. You never know. It's never too late, never too early either. So anyway, man, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, all the information is going to be below. If you need tinting done, like you said, an hour and a half for a 4-door sedan, you cannot beat that. You can just take an extended lunch and come get your car done. It's very cool. The shop looks amazing. I'm very happy for you.